What's up, everybody? A to Z Sports. I'm Austin Stanley. Hope everyone is enjoying their 4th of July weekend and week. Zach and I off this week, but wanted to bring you guys some great content from A to Z Sports, even with us being off from our last vacation before we dive into the football season. Right now, you're about to hear a really interesting conversation we had about Derrick Henry over or under rushing yards for this upcoming season. This one's presented by BetMGM. That over-under rushing yards for Derrick Henry, I'm sure, will be out soon on the BetMGM app. You can always sign up to use the BetMGM app with our code ATOZ Sports. You get a risk-free bet up to $1,000 with your first bet after your first deposit. It's always easy and fun with the BetMGM app. Enjoy the conversation. We got a video to play. And this is thanks to Live on the Line, which is a BetMGM show on a digital show talking about bets and gambling. And they had a segment yesterday about Derrick Henry. And all I saw, Jack, was this 21-second clip of Michael Kim not really sure if he believes in the King.
Where it's going.
Oh, no.
I hate doing this because I'm a huge fan of Derrick Henry, and I would not want to be in his way to the end zone. But I'm going to have to fade. I think the number is going to be under 1,400. Doesn't say he's not going to have a good season, but it's not going to be 1,400 and the hook. We might actually get to 1,400 and you guys might get Captain Hooked.
So Jonathan Taylor's number was 1,450 and a half, 50 yards above Henry's. They both were following that over, right? And then Michael Kim under 1,400 and a half for Derrick Henry. Jack, your thoughts?
I mean, give me a damn break. Seriously, 1,400 is a number that Derrick Henry has eclipsed in two of the previous. Really, it would have been 3 straight seasons had he not gone down with an injury last year. And really, it wouldn't have been particularly close. I mean, the closest he really came was 1,540 yards in 2019. But, 303
in
carries.
15 games, right? In 2019, Henry played 15 games. He's averaged over 100 yards rushing a game in his last 2.5 years.
So 1,400 is not that, steep. It's really not asking a ton out of Derrick Henry in a 17-game season, assuming that health is fine, right? And it's a big assumption to make for running backs, especially ones that are, kind of on the back end of their prime, coming off an injury. But again, I don't think that injury will affect him. I don't think that's going to pop up again. So 1,400 yards for a healthy Derrick Henry, that's a walk in the park. The guy's going to get at least 300 carries. I mean, if he even comes up, at 285, I still think he gets to 1,400. But I mentioned earlier, I did some math on this, and I do think if he gets 4.5 yards per carry on about 330 carries, which I truly believe is a possibility, even after this injury, he had 378 carries in 2020. Do I think that he'll get about 400 again? Maybe not, but I think 330 is definitely in the ballpark of what we should be expecting out of Henry. So 330 carries on 4.5 yards per carry. We're at 1,485 yards. Derrick Henry's probably not going to go for 2,000 yards this season, right? I mean, it doesn't happen twice. And I know Derrick Henry.
It's never happened twiise.
I know that Derrick Henry's the exception to the rule, but 2,000 yards after this injury with all this stuff going on and not questions at the wide receiver position and with the quarterback. There's a new offensive line. There's just too many variables, right? But I do think 1,400 yards is kind of a low bar to set for Derrick Henry. So I'm absolutely going over.
Yeah, I think 1,400 is too low. Now, if you watched Friday's show, then we talked about Mike Clay of ESPN, who did his stat projections, and he had Derrick Henry at 1,503. So I thought that might be a little high. I think 1,400 is too low.
I mean, without an injury, I just don't see it happening, right?
And there's no reason to expect that Derrick Henry should have another injury like this. Like, he broke a bone, happens, it heals, and you move on.